Welcome to our company and to our safety team. Our goal here is safe construction. We all share in the belief that our employees are our company's greatest assets. We're dedicated to providing every employee with a safe and helpful workplace. Safety is an integral part of our construction process. It is just as important as doing the most effective job for our client. Working in a safe manner and helping you and your fellow workers to prevent accidents is an important part of our daily work schedule. Recognizing unsafe situations, avoiding risks, and preventing hazards are not only basic safety rules, but are also indicators of your knowledge and expertise as a construction worker. With your commitment and cooperation, we will all benefit by fewer injuries and illness, better working conditions, and the successful completion of our project. Our safety program will help us to plan, organize, and schedule our works, communicate the need for improvement, and make the best use of materials and equipment. In doing so, we will provide a better service to our client and the people in our community. Our safety program will also keep the company competitive and, as such, provide potential for continued employment. Your safety and the safety of everyone on the project is of tremendous importance. Having a careless attitude, taking unnecessary risks, or disregarding safe operating practices jeopardizes your safety and the safety of your coworkers. Company rules must be followed, as well as required federal, state, and local regulations. Reporting to work drug and alcohol free and ready to perform as a member of our team is an employment requirement. Strong disciplinary action will result from any willful, repeated, or serious violations of any safety rules. Each employee has a role to carry out in the safety program. Every reasonable effort must be made to protect fellow employees from harm and prevent damage to property. We welcome your suggestions on how to make our job site a safe and better place to work. First, let's talk about personal safety. You can protect yourself by wearing the proper clothing and personal protective equipment. Clothing needs to cover the body, arms, and legs to prevent exposure to skin irritants, flash burns, and cuts or scrapes. Loose clothing should not be worn around moving machinery or power tools. Ankle-high, lace-up safety boots are needed. Other clothing, including gloves or special suits and boots, are required under certain conditions, such as material handling or working around hot liquids, acids, caustics, or other less obvious but still toxic substances like benzene or lead. Much of the construction work is performed at an elevated level, and the possibility always exists for falling or flying objects. Hard hats, therefore, are a must for head protection. Keep your head and wear your hard hat. Your outlook on the job depends on effective eye and face protection. As you know, construction workers are exposed to everyday hazards of grinding, sawing, concrete chipping, chemical mixing, welding, and burning. Safety glasses, goggles, welding hood, and face shields help to keep your eyes on the job and should be used as your daily tasks require. Always use the correct eye protection. And remember, when flipping up your hood or face shield, be careful not to let particles drop into your eyes. Excessive loud noise can produce more than just an irritation and may result in progressive hearing loss. Therefore, hearing protection must be used in high noise areas. Certain job situations can also require respiratory protection. Oxygen-deficient atmospheres, dust, fumes, corrosive liquids, and toxic substances are some conditions which require respiratory protection. Respiratory protection devices vary in design, application, protective capability, and must be selected to match the identified hazard. Check with your supervisor before entering confined spaces or whenever fumes or dust are created to see if a respirator is necessary and what type is needed. It is also good to remember that additional information on the hazards of chemical substances can be obtained by reading labels on containers or by asking your supervisor for material safety data sheets, MSDSs. Now, let's look at safety equipment on the job site, beginning with fall protection equipment. Your job may require you to work at heights above the ground or other surfaces. This may require use of fall protection equipment, where proper guardrails, nets, or other means of protection are not provided. The safety device shown here is called a double locking lanyard, which is secured to a full body harness. A double locking lanyard is important because it cannot roll out of the harness the way a single locking lanyard can, as shown here. Put on the harness by holding on to the D-ring at the top and letting the harness strap hang down. Be sure the letter U, located just below the D-ring, is facing up. Now slide your arms through the shoulder straps as if you were putting on a jacket. Pull the straps across your chest and lock the chest buckles in place. It should fit snug, but still should allow you to move freely. Next, pull the two thigh straps located behind your back between your legs and lock the buckles in place, as shown here. When you have the harness on correctly, the D-ring should fit between your shoulder blades and below the neck. Next, attach the lanyard with the shock absorber end to the D-ring on your harness. Attach the lanyard on the other end of the safety line to an I-hook. If one does not exist near your work area, you can wrap a beam strap around an I-beam, as we're doing here, and attach the lanyard to it. Inspect your personal protective equipment daily. Defective equipment requires replacement. You must ensure proper maintenance of your equipment so that it provides you with the desired protection. The need for fall protection goes beyond safety belts. Safety belts should be your last resort, not your first line of defense. Floor and wall openings must be protected. Hole covers are to be firmly secured and clearly marked to prevent removal. A floor hole cover must always be strong enough to hold any load it is likely to support. Some floor and wall openings may be too large to cover. Therefore, guardrails are required. Remember that a properly constructed guardrail is the best protection against a worker unintentionally stepping off the edge of his work surface. If guardrails are removed to provide clearance for a load, remember to replace them in their original condition. Guardrails include top rail, mid rail, and toe boards. Guardrails are incomplete if they do not have a toe board to prevent tools and materials from sliding off the edge of the platform. As added protection, secure or properly stack all tools and materials. Protect yourself as well as workers below you. In some instances, personal nets are provided as fall protection on the project. In this case, learn how the net can best be maintained to assist in fall protection. You will be moving about the job site from one elevation to another to reach a new work area or to accomplish a task in a hard-to-reach location. Use the ladders, scaffolds, stairways, or ramps where they're provided, or indicate any need for these to your supervisor. Many jobs are delayed and serious injuries caused by the failure to provide or use safe access to reach work areas. Ladders and scaffolds should be inspected before work has begun to ensure that they are safe to use. Damaged ladders and scaffolds should be placed in a designated area and tagged out of service until they can be repaired or destroyed. When using a ladder, place it into position at the proper slope of 4 feet to 1 foot and check for secure footing. Keep ladders free of slippery substances. climb and descend facing the ladder and using both hands and feet. Do not carry tools and materials with you. Use a hoist line instead. Ladders must extend at least 3 feet above the top elevation to allow easy access. Ladders must be tied off securely. Wooden or fiberglass ladders are required when working near electrical surfaces. Step ladders are to be fully spread and locked into place. Never stand on the top rung of a step ladder. Special attention must be given to the design of the job-built ladder. Consult your supervisor before erecting job-built ladders, and remember to keep all ladders away from high traffic areas. If it becomes necessary to position ladders in a traffic area, provide sufficient safety means to protect them. A wide variety of scaffolds are utilized at construction sites. A great deal of care needs to be taken erecting and dismantling them. Scaffolds require placement on a firm and level base, or proper supports must be provided in the case of suspended scaffolds. Scaffold working surfaces and rest platforms should be fully planked with scaffold-grade material. The ends of the scaffold planks must be cleated to prevent slippage. Exposed sides of scaffolds need to be equipped with top rail, mid-rail, and toe board. Ladders are to be positioned for safe access to and from scaffolds during erection and dismantling. Always raise and lower scaffolding material with a hand line. After dismantling, store scaffolding in an orderly place. Stairways and ramps are designed to provide easy access to areas of the job site. Safe access includes installation of handrails for stairways and sufficient lighting in dark areas and landings. Stairways, as with all walking and working surfaces, are to be kept clear of hoses, cables, and electric cords by attaching them outside the railing with plastic hooks. Always clear off any tools, materials, grease, oil, ice, or snow from surfaces to prevent falls. Another inherently hazardous construction operation is excavating. Whether it is a narrow trench or a large open excavation, there are numerous hazards. Before excavating, know what is under the surface, utility lines or a previous excavation. Contact the utility company that may be involved at least 48 hours in advance of starting any trenching or excavating operation. Be aware of the soil condition. Learn to identify the soil characteristics of the job site or seek a competent person's opinion. Excavations deeper than 4 feet usually require sloping, benching, or shoring. If a hazardous excavation cannot be sloped, structural protection in the form of shoring or trench boxes must be used. Shoring must always be competently designed to withstand all potential load. Trench boxes may be used, but remember that they provide protection only when they're properly designed and when you remain inside. When working around excavations, be alert for changing conditions, such as the presence of water and the unraveling or bulging of the excavation side. Keep spoil at least 2 feet from the excavation edge. Be aware that heavy traffic near your operation can produce vibrations, which can affect the integrity of a trench wall. And use a ladder or ramp at least every 25 feet to provide entry to and exit from the excavation. Don't let your lack of electrical safety knowledge be a shocking experience. Electrical cords and plugs require inspection before starting work. If the insulation is worn or the ground pin is missing, have repairs made by an electrician prior to use. Temporary wiring stringers and drop cords should be hung 7 feet off the ground to prevent tripping hazards. Be sure lighting fixtures are enclosed by a guard. Tag and lock out electrical circuits before performing work. Know whether ground fault interrupters or an assured grounding program is used on the project. Electrical power tools must be tested at regular intervals to assure that they're in good operating condition. Always check every tool before use to ensure no damage has occurred between inspections. If a power tool has been damaged, have it repaired or replaced immediately. When utilizing any hand or power tool, proper selection, use, and maintenance is a must. Never abuse a tool. If a tool is broken, damaged, or in poor condition, get it repaired or replaced. Use the right tool for the task. Remember, the proper tool for a proper job. Tools are designed for safe use. Extensions, cheaters, or makeshift devices are designed to injure. Guards and return devices on tools, such as saws and grinders, are installed for your protection. Keep them working for you in their intended operational condition. Use of double insulated tools should be encouraged. For all air-powered tools, you need to check to see if they're properly connected. A safety nap chain will prevent a whipping action in the event the coupling comes loose. Also, remember to check the automatic cutoff valve at the compressor. Make sure that it is installed and working properly. Power-actuated tools must be treated with the same respect paid to a handgun. Special care is required to prevent accidental discharge. Training, and in some cases certification, is required prior to use. Your daily tasks will involve movement of materials, equipment, and tools, and precautions must be taken. Always plan and coordinate the movement of materials. Be alert to the possibilities of hands and feet being exposed to pinch point, especially when loading and unloading materials. Know the approximate weight of the object to be moved. When items are too heavy, large, or bulky, help will be needed. When lifting materials, remember to squat down, bend your knees, keep your arms straight, and lift with your legs, not your back. Avoid twisting and jerking a load. Carry objects closely to your body. When possible, use a hoisting device. If manually operated assistance is needed to lift loads or move material safely, make certain that all rigging is in the best of condition. Be alert for improper rigging and do not overload. Mechanical hoisting equipment such as cranes and forklifts are often a necessity. In directing lifts, learn and use approved signals. Maintain clear communication with the operator and see that tag lines are used to control the piece being lifted. Extra precautions will be needed when handling dangerous materials like bottle gases. These high-pressure cylinders must be secured in an upright position when stored, and cylinders with different gases should be stored at least 25 feet apart. Areas in close proximity to all operating equipment should be kept clear of personnel, except those directly involved in the work. When it comes to heavy equipment, observation and good communication is essential to safe work performance. Always heed the warnings on barricades and signs when working around mobile equipment or any other hazardous locations. An often overlooked aspect of material handling is storage. Improper stacking of materials not only restricts access to items, but also creates a hazard of shifting and therefore falling objects. Make it a regular routine of storing materials in a neat, organized manner for both safety and efficiency. Maintaining good housekeeping on the job is the responsibility of each employee. Housekeeping prevents accidents and promotes good attitudes essential to every job site. Clean areas make finding tools and materials much easier and provide safe footing for transporting materials. Cleaning up as you work keeps you in charge of your own efficiency and safety. Storing used material properly, disposing of debris, and general housekeeping will not only minimize general hazards, but will also aid in the prevention of fires. It is important that you learn the location of fire protection equipment. Find out what the 3 basic types of fire extinguishers are and under what fire conditions each type should be used. Know where your sparks and slag will fall or spray when welding, cutting, or burning. Store flammable materials out of the way in proper containers. Be certain you're aware of the emergency procedures for the job site. Know where emergency numbers are posted. Write them on a card to carry with you. Despite everyone's precautions, injuries can occur. Know where first aid can be obtained and seek help for even minor injuries. Minor injuries can become more serious if not properly treated. Report all injuries and accidents to your supervisor promptly. If you have an allergy to medications, are diabetic, or have high blood pressure, let your supervisor know in case you become injured or unconscious. Learn the accident reporting procedures for the project and report all hazards to your supervisor. Be alert for those near misses and report these potential accidents to your foreman. Unsafe conditions that go uncorrected are accidents waiting to happen. Above all, let your supervisor know of ideas on how to make our job site a safer and better place to work. Show your construction know-how and skill by doing your work in a safe manner. Positive safety attitudes are a necessary part of our construction team. And again, welcome to our company. We trust that your association with us will be fulfilling and productive for you, and that you will become a valuable member of our team. We're striving to meet our goal of safe construction, a goal that is to everyone's benefit and one that can be accomplished if we all do our part. Please work safely. We depend on you being at work, and your family wants you home without an injury.